atheist, evolutionist scientists have to say. It's not like I just go by what they say and accept it. DPR, let me explain something to you. I was 6 years ago, I was an evolutionist. I am not today because I studied.
Let's not go through the whole history.
But today I'm not because I studied what your PhDs and
you looked at a few videos on YouTube.
No, PhD. No.
Have you got a PhD?
Not at all. Not at all.
Have you got a PhD?
I have studied thousands of articles and websites over the
You've read a few
years.
abstracts.
No, I didn't read a few. DPR, I read thousands.
Of abstracts.
Thousands.
I've shown you before in a video response to you how accurate.
I don't care what you think of my research. I've read thousands. I guarantee I've done far more. I've done hundreds of times more research than you.
Yeah, and
hundreds of times. And it's what convinced me. Reading what secular scientists say and what creationist scientists say, and comparing that to what we observe in the world, that's how I became a young Earth creationist.
You're highly selective in what you've cherry-picked.
No, not highly selective. I was skeptical.
Yeah.
I wanted to believe in evolution because that's what I believed. It was my paradigm.
And as soon as Venom
no DPR. I know DPR. This testimony really offends you, and I understand that. I do, but it's the truth. What I tell you is the truth.
Definitely, it doesn't offend me at all. It makes me laugh. You were visited in the night by a naked black lady.
That's correct.
So to get onto YouTube,
I was visited by an angel. That's correct. And
God chose you as his spokesperson.
But what I discovered was not dependent upon what the angel told me. It was dependent upon what I studied, what I learned by reading. And you also believe that DPR
are a crossbreed between Nephilims and people on Earth, and they come in various forms.
That's right, DPR, and you can't.
Hold on, this is
DPR. I'm not intimidated at all by what you say. It doesn't shame. It doesn't. Wait. EQ that question. It doesn't intimidate me. It doesn't scare me. I don't feel small.
You said it many times before.
I'm glad and proud that I've learned the truth. You're never going to intimidate me with your claims about your arguments about what you saw. Yeah, exactly. I surely did. I sure.
The sense of the universe.
I did.
I'm proud that you believe that aliens exist in various forms.
I did see an angel. I was visited by an angel. Yeah, I was.
God told you.
But that's not why I am a creationist. Not directly. Directly why.
Okay. Hey, DPR.
Let's study the evidence, DPR.
Yeah. DPR.
I'm sorry, questions. I was having a very reasonable conversation with you, but there are times, and with all due respect to Nephilim, that I'm sorry, trying to have a conversation with it is impossible. And I apologise to both of you, particularly you, questions.
Well, I apologise for trying to intimidate me when it's impossible. And
I wasn't trying to intimidate you.
I'm going to my supernatural experiences. DPR, all you do...
Are you still a geocentrist, Nephilim?
DPR. All you do is
still geocentrist, yes or no?
DPR, all you do is make me proud to be a Christian, and the fact that Christ is gracious enough to forgive my sins. All you do is make me proud.
Good. Well, I'm happy I have some effect. Are you still a geocentrist?
Hey, DPR.
Are you still a geocentrist?
It's gonna.
Okay. E-question.
Okay.
Back to you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So anyway, going back to the carbon-14, it's not that first of all, I'll just tell you, I really dislike it when when.
30,000?
Oh,
Does it matter if I tell you 10 million times?
But tell me one more time.
Okay, I will. Okay, DPR. Secular astronomers agree. The universe is balanced by forces so intricately that if any of the forces of nature were changed by one outstandingly small, infinitesimally small measure, the life-giving universe could not exist. I don't know why you're ignorant of this, and then you come here arguing against it when it's not the creationists that state this. It's secular astronomers themselves that agree upon this universally. It's not a hidden thing. It's not some conspiracy theory. It's not science. And it's not hidden.
Have you been reading too many abstracts again, Nephi?
DPR, all you have to do is investigate the world around you to find out there's more going on.
Well, I just need to look at a tree and say, oh my God.
What's happening on your Xbox?
Unfortunately,
Xbox is not everything. There's more going on.
I don't think he owns an Xbox.
I don't know what an Xbox is.
I was just going to ask, does DPR even play Xbox? That would be cool. I can't believe he would. It just doesn't seem like the Xbox guy.
I think the last computer game I played was Space Invaders in about 1983.
That was the first
I don't like it too.
I'm old enough to remember.
I just simply haven't evolved enough. So there's evidence. I haven't evolved, therefore evolution doesn't exist.
Well, DPR, let me ask you this. If you're so unaware of something that even secular astronomers have been saying for the last 15 years, why are you here arguing against it? Why are you arguing against it?
I'm not necessarily... You asked me a question, Nephi. Are you going to let me answer? I'm not necessarily arguing against what they said. What I'm arguing against is your interpretation of what they said. And if you're saying that mathematicians have said that there are
astronomers,
some sort of equations that they have created that this is evidence of a finely tuned universe, it's nonsense.
No, I didn't say that.
If you are saying, as I suspect you are, if you are saying, as I suspect you are,
you're putting words in my mouth.
In order for life to exist in the universe, there has to be certain relationships between those constants. I would fully accept that. I do not accept. Will you let me finish? I'm answering your question. I do not accept that they are necessarily as finely tuned as you suggest they are.
Okay, so why did you argue that that's not true?
I'm sorry, Nephilim, I'm answering your question. Will you please have the decency to allow me to answer it? I do not accept that the only constants that we experience now are the only constants that could have created a universe in which life may not have occurred or been able to occur.
I understand that idea. I'm familiar with it. But you were arguing that the balance of the forces in the universe that provide a life-giving universe it was not true. And it is clearly true. And it is clearly stated by secular sources.
What variation in the force exists? Life still to...
You were arguing, DPR, you were arguing against it. Clearly, you're just not very well informed. I mean, really.
I asked you specifically, what variation in the weak force could exist and life still exists?
Listen, DPR, did I not say that the secular astronomers say that if you turn the knobs, any of them, by a million?
I don't think any secular astronomer or whatever you're referring to them as talks about having a full of 1,000 knobs and twitching them here and there.
You're ignorant of this knowledge. Well. DPR, just look it up.
The forces themselves, actually, DPR, show that there's a huge disparity between what we see in the forces and what would have been expected coming out of the Big Bang, actually. If you
what?
Yeah,
what?
Really? Yeah, there are.
Could you repeat that? That didn't make sense.
Listen, this is
something. You got to educate them.
Hold on, I'm not lying about this. I'm not making this stuff up. This is something.
I want to say what forces were predicted from the theory of Bang.
Well, let me just tell you.
First of all,
if the four major solar forces didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be here right now. But this is something that Hawking has been struggling with for years and years and years. They've even done shows over the whole thing. And the fact of the matter is, they've found a way to figure out the strong forces strong force, weak force, and electromagnetism. They've been able to measure them, and they found that all three of those forces are pretty much around the same strength. They're all about the same. And that's what they would have expected in the Big Bang. Here's the problem they're having. Gravity is not at the same strength as the other three
They're
forces.
not at the same strength. That is completely untrue.
No, they're close to the same strength.
No,
That's what I said.
No, they're not anywhere nearly the same strength. You let the strong and weak nuclear forces are much stronger than the electromagnetic strength, the force.
They're all about the same strength. The one problem they have is gravity. And they don't know why. But you know what? If gravity was